Around the world and across Nigeria. If you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning right here on Enterprise Television. Now to our main conversation for today. The rift between FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and the Senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, Kingibe, seems far from over. That's because there's a latest angle to the dispute. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has advised the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, Nyesom Wike, to ignore the criticisms of FCT Senator Kingibe.
That's true. Akpabio stated this on Tuesday when he flagged off the construction of the Kingibe bus terminal in the FCT.
The Senate President commended his host, Wike, for his infrastructure drive in the nation's capital and urged him to ignore his critic, who said she was not carried along.
Yeah, that's true. And moving on, Kingibe, a Labour Party member, had defeated Philip Aduda, the Wike ally, in the 2023 election to become the senator representing the FCT.
Wike, a former Rivers State governor, was later appointed as the FCT minister in August of the same year. Since his appointment, Wike and Kingibe have not seen eye to eye.
On Monday, Kingibe voiced her frustration on the television program and revealed that she was being sidelined by Wike in the running of the FCT.
The FCT minister, a People's Democratic Party PDP chieftain, working in the cabinet of the All Progressive Congress APC, would later fire back and threatened to unseat the senator in the next election.
And that's true. On Tuesday, Wike invited Akpabio to flag off the construction of Kingibe bus terminal in the FCT. And the Senate President took a swipe at the senator.
Very well said. So let's get into the meaty part of our discussion. Still in the studios with us, Emeka Madunagu and Pastor Fan Sufeli. Thank you, gentlemen, for hanging on and being part of our show today.
Yeah, thank you. And let's get into this particular story that is actually making the round, because it is one that a lot of Nigerians never saw coming or never saw it coming. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, if I will go far back, was inaugurated in August. And by next month, it should be about a year. And during his inauguration, I would quote him on what he said. He said, "The President has given us the marching order. We must bring FCT back to what it is supposed to be. And we are willing and we have the capacity to do that. That is what we have come to tell members of the media, and it's not going to be business as usual." Now, looking at the current conflict that is going on between the Minister of the FCT and the senator representing FCT, the business as usual as we currently witness, does it entail the FCT minister not working in synergy with the senator of the FCT?
Well, why I understand that Wike is very cantankerous. He has this mentality of we against them, which he deploys everywhere he goes to, unrestrained and all that. I also think Kingibe, she needs to be taught her role. Her role is lawmaking. That's her role. Her primary role in that place is legislation. Go and, push a bill somewhere. Get a bill, become an act of the National Assembly. What she needs to do is to work around lawmaking. The Wike has no business with that woman, frankly speaking. Wike is a minister appointed by the president, to carry out specific functions. Now, if you want to expand the discussion, like Wike is a leader in the FCT, Kingibe is a leader in the FCT, we can expand the discussion to mean leaders in the FCTs can come together. You understand? If that is what she's saying, that is a moral issue. Let's come together, carry me along, I carry you along. It's for the progress of the FCT. We're moving forward. That's a moral issue. Legally speaking, their roles are different and their functions are different. There's no law that says two of them must carry each other, carry one another. So I'm wondering whether the woman in question actually knows her role. But I do not blame her too, because the role of lawmaking in Nigeria has been diluted. so diluted that they now get constituency allowance and funding. It was during the Obasanjo time that the senators started complaining that when they go to their constituency, their people ask them, what are they doing? They don't do any project, they don't do any road. So they created this constituency project where the senator is now giving that like an aside, like an addition to lawmaking. Let your people see that you are representing them, because if people don't understand legislative representation, that it does not mean you coming to do infrastructure and all that. Okay, so because that role has been diluted, possibly that is why the woman in question too, she's now in that mix, believing that an FCT minister is supposed to consult her or bring her into the picture of whatever he is doing. That is the prerogative of the minister if he wants to, but not in this case where they have a previous issue as to that seat in the first place.
Okay. But Barrister, amongst both of them, the only person that touches home the most is Ireti, because she has complained that when people are crying for something in their community, they can't reach Wike. It's hard to run to.
Yeah,
she has an office.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. So
it's the same thing I'm saying. I said legislation has been watered down in Nigeria to mean that you have to be doing projects. Otherwise, if it is a normal society, if those people run to you, you tell them that, see, my own is to make laws, is to ensure that I make laws that will better your life. Okay, my own is not to come and be giving you handout. I don't have anything to give. But because they also give them constituency, that's why I'm saying that she's saying what she's saying out of the system. The system has made it so. Ordinarily, she has no business with Wike in a manner of speaking. But the system has made it that once you are a leader, whether it's for lawmaking or for anything, the people will come to you to ask for handouts. You understand? So what she's doing is not wrong. I'm not saying what she's doing is wrong. I'm saying that Wike's attitude is one that Wike will choose. He chooses who he wants to relate to and who he doesn't want to relate to. That's not a good leader in the first place. But ordinarily, they're not supposed to have any problem because their roles are different and diverse. But our system has made it such that a lawmaker has now been reduced to one that will do projects that if people come, he will go and buy bags of rice and all that. And because we don't also sever politics from governance, when we finish stomach infrastructure during campaign, during governance, when governance starts, we still sustain it. The people will still be running to you. And so you have to be giving handouts and all that. So that is the problem we're having. Is the system versus what the law should be from the point of view.
Thank you, Barrister.
Emeka, Wike threatened Ireti that he would unseat her in 2027. Isn't that mulish and pertinacious?
It's around nonsense. Does he have his voter's card is in Obiakpo? His voting center is in his polling unit is in Obiakpo. He doesn't have any right to vote in the FCT. So that's what people have asked him.
But he has got the influence.
No, it's not about. It's fine. The influence to rig. Is that what you're saying? That's what people are asking him. That are you telling us something we don't know about how you have been unseating people? Are you telling us something? Because that's the question. That question arises. You will unseat her as in you are going to, deploy violence and chase voters out so that you will write the results or what? You see, this is a country where people just talk without even checking. And the media is part of the problem.
How?
The media will just take anything anybody says without asking questions, without adding to it that, okay, Wike said this, but for context.
That would be an editorial now, right?
No, even in reporting.
In reportage.
Yes, in report, yes. The newspaper is supposed to add. Because if somebody comes to say the president is stupid, will you write it there? That is the question. So the point is, for context, because you're also educating your readers, it's part of the job of the media. For context, look at foreign publications, and you see it. They'll put it for context. You know, just like Nota Bene. Wike is registered in XYZ and does not have power to vote in the FCT. Put it for context. Let him read it, and then see how nicely he has described himself. That is one side. The other thing I feel so bad about is Akpabio. A ranking senator is a disappointment, because he knows what the standing rules of the Senate say about privileges. You do not run down your colleague like that. It's in Nigeria that, you know, dogs eat dog. People don't even know what it means, you know, to demean your colleague. If he had any issue, he's the president of the Senate and the chairman of the National Assembly. Since there's an issue, it's for him, as the number 3 man in the country, to call Wike, call Kingibe to a private meeting and sort things out. That yes, you are not answerable to this is not answerable to this. But for the sake of harmonious relationship between the executive and the legislature, please, we don't like this exchange. We're our colleagues. You know, just resolve it. Because this is not the first time. This feud has been on. You know, let's resolve it with a slap, you know, just over some drinks. You know, we resolve everything quietly. Because you're talking about sitting the people of FCT deserve to be served well by you. They are not waiting till 2027 to see whether you can unseat or whether you even still be on that seat by 2027. So Akpabio really needs to apologize to Kingibe for those things, because he breached her privilege. Yes. She has privilege as a senator. He breached the privilege. And I expect that at the next session of the Senate, she will raise it. Because you know the funny thing, where maybe a member of the public or a newspaper or publication or so, you know, maybe write something that the senator feels is a breach of privilege, it is the duty of that senator to bring that publication to the notice of the Senate and to the notice of the Senate President, who will now refer to the Ethics and Privileges Committee for investigation. Now, in this case, the Senate President himself has breached the privilege of a fellow senator. So how do you go with it? When she raises it, how? How? He can't be a judge in his own matter.
So what could be the...
He will be forced to apologize to her. He will be forced to apologize to her.
Do you think it will ever happen?
No, it's not about whether it is the natural process. It's the due process. Because, look, let me tell you, we should never, as journalists, help politicians, you know, to violate the law, because it usually bounces back on them. Go and check. Go and check instances. I know instances where we read the editorials, reports and all of that, warning politicians that this action is going to backfire. Oh, they thought, yeah, you can get out. At the end of the day, when you say what goes around, comes around. When he came back to them, it was such a pitiable situation. So what we expect is that we should have statesmen in politics, not just mere politicians. That's the rabble. We should have statesmen that can rise to the occasion. You know, rise to the occasion when there is conflict. You know, that is why you see simple conflicts, verbal exchanges, you know, get to embarrassing levels. Because you don't have statesmen who call, no, gentlemen, please, can we let them pass school? You know, can we meet privately? Because after all, whenever there is a conflict in the Senate or in the House of Representatives, what happens? They go into a closed door session. But what happens is that when presiding officers are trying to play politics, that's when you see somebody trying to grab the mix, or you see one lawmaker punching the other lawmaker. It should not be like that. There are things that can be sorted out behind closed doors, and then we'll move on. Because let me tell you something. They say soldier go, soldier come, barracks remain. The system will outlive, whether it's Abuja, whether it's Wike, whether it's Kingibe, the system will outlive them. So it's better that they come together so that their names will be written in gold.
It is quite unfortunate that Akpabio does not even understand his role as a Senate President. He does not understand his role. When both houses are sitting in plenary, Akpabio is the number one of both house. Okay. Now, for a colleague of yours, complaining, she's not fighting Wike. She just granted an interview stating facts. Okay. So what is expected of you is to see how you can mediate, and not because Akpabio has taken side. That's what it means. He has taken side because he's playing politics. He has forgotten that they have ended campaign and now it's governance. You see that transition. The Nigerian politician will never understand that transition. They don't know when to stop politics and focus on governance. What is that? I mean, a colleague, you are rubbishing your own colleague outside. That is like sacrificing your legislative capacity before the executive.
Okay, thank you, Barrister Feli. Thank you, Emeka Magnago. Now, listening to Kingibe talk, and she was so passionate about the people, so much that she said the minister might be a great minister in a ministry that has no people. That was one of the things. That was one of the statements she made, and the way she talked about the people coming to her, and they've resulted to the point where she, for example, she granted an interview with Channel, then Arise, and she actually said she'll be going back next week and she would respond, because that's now the means of communication between her. That's the truth. The media is not the means of communication between her and Wike. Now, how long do you think this will continue, and what does this hold for the Federal Capital Territory? It will continue as long as
the Senate President himself, who is supposed to do the right thing, is not doing the right thing. Because Wike does not have any rights to unseat anybody. Okay. They say this thing because the public allowed them to, to maltreat and manhandle. They know that if they gather the people at the FCT, now these same people that are going to Ireti, they gather them so they give them money to vote against her. You understand? So they just know the weakness of this society, and that is why they will not be part of anything that will empower you and I, so that they keep you at the verge of survival, so that once they bring anything and give to you, you change your destiny. So that is what is going on. So this will come into her now. They come to, don't take that word Wike said with a pinch of salt that will unseat you. Don't undermine that statement. They can do it with the people. The people will collude with them to have it, bring it to reality. Even though we know that Wike does not have a polling unit, it's not registered in the FCT, it's from River State and all that. With money, was it not Akpabio that used to say that anything money cannot do, more money will do it? He has put his mouth into it too. Ignore her. Why would you say that? So, our senator, most people in government don't know their role. That's what we're going through. Akpabio got this Senate president in by negotiation, and by what do you call it? By all these things they do now, all these negotiation, settlement, do this, do that, and at the end of the day, it fell on him. He got it. Now instead of him exact himself and do the right thing and be just, bring equity to bear, fairness to bear, he's taking side of the UK. What is he going to gain from that? So I don't think they are doing the right thing.
Yeah, but I also expect the Labour Party to take it up.
To make a statement.
To make a statement. And to write the Senate President, and also write to the Chief of Staff to the President.
But,
to caution Wike.
But it has come up to say this is not a function of the party. Neither is it a function of her being a woman. It's more of...
No. It's not
in her place. Is it in her place?
It's not about being a woman. But it is about the fact that she is on the ticket of a political party.
The party will respond.
Herself. The party ought to
the party will
respond as a matter of fact. Because, you see, there are ways by which a senator can actually undermine a minister. There are ways, yes.
How?
There are ways.
The minister does not have mandate.
Look, let me tell you something.
That woman is stronger.
Look at what happened between El-Rufai and Shehu Sani. Oh, don't. Shehu Sani said Kaduna does not need this 350 million loan or whatever. and he led his other 2 colleagues to block the road. El-Rufai insisted and fought to a standstill. I mean, just like Wike said, okay, I will unseat you. And truly, the 3 senators didn't come. In fact, one of them, El-Rufai drove a bulldozer that went to demolish his house. Nkuyi, no problem. You see, one thing people forget is that time, that posterity is the judge of human actions. No problem. Time has rolled by. El-Rufai now made sure he got Sani replaced. He got Obasani in. Obasani became his chief chorister in the Senate. The loan was passed, right? No problem, everything went on fine. He made sure he helped Obasani to become governor. Good and fine, they were cheering him. Good man. What's happening today?
He created a monster that is now hot.
What is happening today? Obasani has now used the National Assembly to declare that loan that he was clapping hallelujah for El-Rufai to collect. Now that loan amounted to misappropriation. And they listed some other things. Now El-Rufai, can you imagine, is now going to court.
He has run to court.
Okay, after unseating Shehu, the man you used to replace him has turned against you. So you see, politicians should always be careful. It doesn't help the people, because at the end of the day, there's no man who is servile. A man is only servile to the point that he can get food from you. The day he can hold the food in his hands, or he can actually, that place from where you are getting the money to feed him, he can also put his hand there. Sorry, that servitude dies that day. I'm telling you. So the thing is this: Wike should know, in passing budget, in getting the FCT budget passed, he needs Ireti Kingibe. In taking certain actions in the FCT, he needs Ireti Kingibe. In doing things, he needs Ireti Kingibe. So I believe, you don't know, behind closed doors, politicians are very funny people. They are one happy family. They can come together, while we are debating, just, my sister, my brother, and then that's where we'll go. So I think the best thing is Akpabio should behave like a statesman. He should apologize to Ireti Kingibe for breaching her privilege, and then let him organize a private meeting and sort these things out. It's better.
Very true. And unfortunately, while 2 elephants fight the grass, takes the brunt. In all of this, the FCT is lacking water. It's lacking, hospitals, good roads. No, there are good roads, all right, but those basic things that speak to the minds of...
There are good roads, but majorly in the towns.
Yeah.
Where the people are more stationed, that is where the complaints are coming out.
Exactly. Yes. Very true. Well, this just about the size of our package for today. I would love to say thank you to Barrister Van Sofeli for being part of our show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Appreciate your time. Emeka Madunagu, thank you as always for being part of our show. Joma, thank you.
Thank you, Henry,
for making it a great time. So we'd love to say we appreciate your time, but please do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Like, comment respectfully, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Choma Okoye.
On behalf of the entire team of Enterprise Television, we'd love to say thank you once more, and bye-bye from us.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of